using AI as a partner as I'm building a business and leading teams. So based on use case, when it comes to like really brainstorming and fine tuning the strategic thinking, because I've already trained ChatGPT, siya yung nauna eh. So mas na-train ko si ChatGPT not just of the business that I'm trying to build but also my style, my way of thinking. So because nauna siya at na-train ko na siya, so amongst all those tools, mas maganda yung nagiging output ni ChatGPT for me.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of KakaComputer. Then this episode is sponsored by Agora. So for this topic, we're going to be talking about AI in our daily lives. So of course, AI is not just about tech, business, education, right? Pwede rin naman siya maggamit ng iba't ibang tao. So to start off the discussion, maybe we can start off by introducing each other and how we use AI outside of our work. Maybe, Lesman.
Hi, so I'm Lasman. I'm a startup founder right now and acting CEO. So my background is mostly going to be from the entrepreneurial or business ops side of things. And although I came from a developer background, so iba pa yun kapag na-try ko, and still AI has changed so much of those. Um, there are a lot of things na hindi lang yung streamlining ng process but also creating new ones in the sense like using them generally as thought partners, which I can get into deeper later on which part specifically and how to maximize them more than just yung having it as a chatbot and how to like build it as its own thinking, acting tool talaga. So maybe later, like once we do delve into specific use cases. But generally, that's how I've been using AI as a business head. It's always been using it as a sidekick to whenever any creative process that I have. It's just there as a brainstorming partner, which I'm sure all of us can agree naman na brainstorming is always good, whatever you're doing.
All right.
Yeah.
Next, your question.
For me, ang gamit ko sa AI everyday is mostly work pa rin. Like, paraphrasing emails, making sure that my communication, kasi usually, I'm sending emails to stakeholders, basically C-suite users, like CEO, mga vice president, kasi major incident management yung hinahandle ko. So basically, I make sure na walang typo, yung mga ganun, which is yung simple thing. Pero for me, outside work, ang ginagamit ko din is through game development as my hobby. Kasi member ako ng isang community na, I won't say the name na lang, kasi it's about modding actually. So, ayun. I think it helps me also to learn new things. Kasi when I was in college, I didn't really focus on programming. More on ako hardware talaga. So for me, when I have a time, I'm trying to self-learn as well. Yung pag may naaalala kong ano nga ba yung meaning ng ganito nung college, parang it's part of my learning curve na rin. Ayun.
Okay. And last but not the least.
Yeah, so I'm Grace, currently the GM and founder of Waymaker. It's a tech education company, and we've been focusing on serving teachers, teaching them how to use AI. So, nag-share na siya ng paano niya ginagamit yung AI. So, for me, my everyday, day-to-day life would always include using AI. So, nag-umpisa ako sa ChatGPT. And then, ngayon, because of the latest features, I'm slowly moving using Gemini more often.
Okay. As personally naman, for me, parang aside from work rin, di ba? So, like, we have business partner, we have a tool for like copywriting or emails, right? Personally, ginagamit ko rin siya about random stuff. Like, kunyari, learning new things. For example, last year, nag-start lang ako mag-running. Tinanong ko si ChatGPT, paano ba ako makakaiwas sa sakit sa paa? Kasi laging sumasakit. But, parang it's like Google, but it gives you the answer straightforward. But you can also ask it to give you more information, right? Mga references, saan mo ba natutunan to? And, parang research partner, but for random things. Pero aside from Miss Grace using ChatGPT and Gemini po, right? Kayo po ba, ano po yung mga ginagamit yung AI tools?
Something that I've been using a lot more often is Claude. Kasi I just like how their models and the CLI tool Claude Code for development works. And yung another thing that I really like na tool is Perplexity. Not if we're talking technicals, parang if you want to dive into the specifics, medyo related naman or similar on how everything works. Pero I just got a really may free subscription ako because of like a promo way back then. Tapos there's this really cool feature that they have where it's going to deep research, but more than that, it can do a lot of actions, generate graphs, diagrams, citations, like something very readable. And may mga ginagamit ako doon to the point of education for yourself. If I want to be an expert in one thing, doon ko nagagamit the most yung Perplexity Labs na feature. I just have a copy-pasted prompt na ginawa ko way back then. And then ang intention is tell me everything I need to know about this specific thing. So, for instance, podcasts. If I needed to know everything there is on how to work a podcast, then I would know, okay, here are the things that matter. Lighting, sound design. And then even the things na would hindi makakatch ng beginner, kayang ma-provide from like expert level information through something like that. Unlike in many cases, let's say you just ask ChatGPT something basic, unless you keep diving deeper, a few back and forths, dun lang maka-provide ng expert. But through some features like that na dedicated talaga, I found it to be really helpful kapag you make it explicit na here's my goal and here's what everything I need to know about, something very specific. Then yeah, it does add in a format ko in a way na okay, the very digestible information, and then in a few minutes, expert quote unquote na ako in something.
And
Well, for me, in general, ChatGPT talaga and Gemini. Actually, may mga times na kapag boring ako, pinagko-compare ko talaga yung both answer nila with the same prompt. And when it comes to game modding, Claude Code talaga the best. Yung pagiging precise nila when it comes to, let's say for example, OOP. Yung pinaprovide niya talaga na answer, especially if wala kang idea dun sa prompt na binigay mo. Talagang siya yung parang pinaka-the best compared to others. Ayun.
Alright, thank you. So, while we're speaking, where we're talking about AI tools na rin, do you believe na may mga AI tools talaga na made for a specific use case? Like for example, Perplexity, marami nagsasabi na it's good for research. Claude is good for programming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there really a significant difference in choosing the right AI tool for the right use case?
Coming from someone who has built similar tools and has a somehow understanding of ano yung behind the scenes nila, may technical metrics kasi to do that na mahirap sabihin objectively na Perplexity is the best quote-unquote research tool unless they have proprietary stuff. So kunwari, Gemini, because it's tied with Google, they have the Google ecosystem, which is a search engine, which if you want to search my AI overview, if you want to learn about something, dun yung super powerful siya. So, if we're talking like technicals, the way I think about it as someone with my technical background, but also business, I think na I see ano nga ba talaga yung proprietary to that company. Kasi any, let's say, agent out there, any person can build that, but it's the matter of ano yung meron sila na hindi magagaya ng iba. The way Google has the Google search ecosystem, or maybe ChatGPT has so much training data and they have their own browser. Or the way Claude, sorry, I forgot, but whatever Anthropic's company has in terms of, let's say, fundraising or resources, there are these things na hindi talaga magagaya ng other companies. And depending on what resources they have and where they put it, that's what's going to make it the quote-unquote best tool for the job.
Whether you're a company looking for visibility or a community friend who simply wants to support, every contribution helps us keep delivering episodes twice a week and even more special features. Check out our sponsorship tiers and join us at patreon.com/KakaComputer.
So it's it's hard to tell, but I would suggest base it off of your vibes. Use everything, cycle through them. That's what I see the other tech leads that I know do. Parang frequently, nagsacycle lang sila, pakiramdaman. And objectively, nobody can tell you what the best thing is, but I base it off of intuition na, okay, here's what they have. And then trust in the company na, oh yeah, they probably won't lie about what something does naman. So that's also a possibility kasi na quote-unquote deep thinking, sabay hindi naman pala deep thinking ganun. Like some lower end, like mga scammy AA tools have done that. Not the big ones, of course. But yeah, it's something to watch out for is you gotta, and you do that by having an open mind lang na be critical pa rin na that whatever the AI says, it should align with what you think already. Wag ka ma-uto in a sense ng AI. So yeah, it's a mix of what resources the AI company has, what it's actually built for, how it's marketed. So be careful of that, and test it out for yourself. Cycle through them para kayo personally A/B test or whatever yung tools that are available.
Actually,
Yes.
for me, it's really subjective eh. Depende sa perspective ng gumagamit. Well, for me, siguro mas okay ang Claude when it comes to programming. However, DeepSeek and ChatGPT will also provide you a best answer on different prompt. Yung parang ganun, parang they have their own edge to each other depending on the situation and the objective of the user. Ayun.
There. Well, just like what I mentioned kanina, hindi tech yung background ko nor my profession. So I'm using AI as a partner as I'm building a business and leading teams. So based on use case, when it comes to like really brainstorming and fine-tuning the strategic thinking, because I've already trained ChatGPT, siya yung nauna eh. So mas na-train ko si ChatGPT, not just of the business that I'm trying to build, but also my style, my way of thinking. So because nauna siya at na-train ko na siya, so amongst all those tools, mas maganda yung nagiging output ni ChatGPT for me. Now, when it comes to like copywriting, Claude pa rin yung may magandang output. Because in my experience, si Claude, mas human yung touch nung mga copy na na-generate niya. ChatGPT and Gemini will give the same message, but the emotions and the human feeling, hindi tunog AI. Pag si Claude yung nagra-run ng mga copy ko. So, ganun ko siya gamitin. Gemini right now, especially with the latest news, diba? Nakita ko kaagad yung difference pag generate ng image with exactly the same interface. Meron na akong video images. So, ngayon, I'm trying to, and because Gemini is linked to my Google Drive, alam na rin niya kung ano yung mga latest thinking ko because of the files available in the Google Drive. So for me, I am foreseeing na ngayon mas heavy chat GPT pa ako, but I'm foreseeing that I may slowly switch to be using Gemini more and more because ecosystem yung hawak niya.
Agree. Pero siguro to wrap things up na the discussion, there are a lot of AI tools out there, but siguro what would be the one advice that you would give to working professionals, students, or people using AI in their daily lives? What one advice would you give them so that mas maganda yung experience nila with using AI?
Sige, I could start. AI is great because it has already captured a good amount of data. So like the example you were mentioning, if you want to learn about podcast, ang bilis, and then nakasummarize na siya with the latest thinking. With my experience and with what I know of AI, it's great because all those existing data is already available. What makes AI different from a human being, it will not be able to create something new. It would always be generating something out of the data it has collected. So for me, the watch out as we're using AI, let's not forget that we are the human who could imagine and create new things. So, kasi obviously, lahat ng i-generate ni AI for us is a reflection of what's already out there. And it may look something new for us because it's our first time to see it, but it should not stop us from creating and giving new inputs to AI para laging may tao.
Yes.
And so that we won't forget that we are humans, not AI.
Siguro for me, ang parang i-watch out lang ng mga, especially for new users ng AI or mga wala pang idea and gagamit sila ng AI in the first place is don't lose that human touch feeling.
Yeah.
Make sure na yung paggamit mo sa AI is, alam mo yun, parang from a human being pa rin. Kasi may mga nakikita akong parang prompt na hindi clear, tapos nagagalit sila bakit daw mali yung pinaprovide ng ng AI. Parang ganun. So, yun lang. Parang best case scenario pa rin is know what you're doing with AI. Ayun.
In terms of using AI, I've kind of developed this mental model na I shared to the rest of my team as well, the rest of my company, na every minute, every second you spend into preparing your prompt and thinking, the 10 times mas maganda yung ma-output ng AI. So if you spend for, let's say, if I had an hour to work, I'd rather spend 10 minutes building a prompt and then the rest, like, working on it, rather than just 1 minute on the prompt and then figuring out the rest. Kasi, the clearer your, obviously, like, the clearer your instructions get, the better the AI knows how to act. And it takes so much less effort for us to be clear about that instruction. Like, just be deliberate and think. I mean, ito na lang prompt na lang isipin mo. Sometimes, I know, I get the tendency na nakakatamad nga naman. But, I catch myself na lang in that bad habit and I correct it na, okay, you built this prompt and sobrang tamad mo gawin. Pagandahin mo palalo. And something, I guess just a tool that was helpful was I use speech to text. I just have a button on my Mac na pagpapindot speech to text na. And then I just blabber about it. That way, all of the context talaga na kailangan ng AI, again, every effort that I put into making or improving the prompt, the instructions, 10x yung return, through that, it doesn't take that much time na. So it's just helpful in general. So what I would suggest, anybody who's just trying to get into AI or looking to maximize their usage of it, wag tamarin sa prompt.
I agree,
Correct.
actually. And I think it's very important na tandaan na kahit anong galing ng AI, right? Whether it's ChatGPT, Claude, or Perplexity, di ba? Kahit gaano kaangas yung ecosystem, at the end of the day, AI is just a tool. And at the end of the day, the human is in control. So, if you don't know how to use it properly, use it responsibly, di ba? That will affect the outcome. And dun na talaga nasasabi kung maganda ba talaga ang AI or not in how you use it. And yeah, so that wraps up the episode. If you want more discussions like this in AI or other tech-related topics, make sure to give KakaComputer a follow on our social media pages, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. Thank you.
Thanks to our sponsors, Agora, Tutorials Dojo, Young CTO, Amazon Web Services User Group Philippines, and Facebook subscribers. On to our next episode.